Hello, hello everybody. My name is Luisel. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about of this article. This article, more than article, is a research. Do you care your local language? The abstract they say that the blowing of the English usage every time and everywhere may exterminate the usage of local language. This happened in Raya, in Palanca Raya. Oh, this research it was made in Palanca Raya. So, by the increase of migration into the Indonesian areas, the people this means that people tend to use other languages. By the migration, when the other people they arrive to Palanca Raya, they introduce two other languages like Indonesian, like Bernese and English. So this research is data for this problematic. This problematic consists in that these languages becomes in the language that people use every time and every time in the daily communication, and the local language they don't care or they don't give the importance. So this research, the method, I'm going to tell you the method that the researcher used. This study used descriptive and qualitative method. Firstly, the researcher used questionnaires. This method it was applied by 4,602 students. The second method is the direct observation, was conducted in 22 classrooms. The thirdly method is in-depth interview with English teachers, and some students was also carried out to dig up the information about their acquaintance to native local language constructed to Indonesian language development. So we have the three methods for this. We have the three methodologies for this research. Firstly, questionnaires, and second, direct observation, and thirdly, the interview of teachers and students. The results and discussion. The analysis of the questionnaire provide important information on a student's period of living in the setting by neglecting their ethnic backgrounds. Daily language preference. The result on the respondents' daily language preference showed that most of them, 4% use Indonesian as their daily language to communicate with their parents at home, and also their friends, and also in this language preference people use Bernese and English. They prefer using that language for some reason. Most respondents can understand the Yaquis language well. However, it is far different from their capability to speak language. People think that the Yaquis is harder than Indonesian, English, and Bernese. This is one factor of this problematic, and it's probably for this reason that people not use or not tend to use these languages or their native languages. So the Yaquis local language endangerment. Research has found that most of junior high school students prefer using Indonesian and popular languages Banjarese for daily communication. They recognize the importance of the Yaquis local language as one of the important assets of indigenous culture. They recognize the importance of the Yaquis local language, but they don't use their native language in their daily communication. The fact that Yaquis is not taught to children in elementary school in Palangkaraya. This is one factor that the local language, the Yaquis, is endangered in danger to be extinguished because the ancestors or the adult people is only that they know this language. The children tend to learning other language. This other language is Indonesian, English, and Banjarese, but not the Yaquis. This is other factor that increase this problematic. English, Indonesian, and the Yaquis. Why people use the Yaqui, people use in English, Indonesian, or other language than the Yaquis? There are some factors. Globalization is one of the main causes of language endangerment. This means the Yaquis language endangerment is the Yaquis. Globalization also refers to the growth of the many media, printed and electronic, in which English, along with Indonesian, become dominant language. So, for these factors of these reasons, the people like use English than the Yaquis, than native language. Effort in maintaining local language. Local language can reflect the attitude of the speaker, implicit of identity, communication, social integration, education, and development. So the research showed that people or local authorities, they are working, or they are intent or working to maintain their local language, like the Yaquis language, because this is the problematic that they have actually. Conclusion: this research attempted to find out students' attitudes towards mother tongue used in daily communication, both at home and school in junior high school contexts. It was found out that most students use Indonesian, the national language, as the main tool for interaction, especially at school environment. Another popular language, Banjarese, became the main choice since it has simple syntax. Banjarese people use Banjarese because people think that Banjarese is more easy. It is easier than the Yaquis language. It has simple syntax and vocabulary that are quite designed as Indonesian. The cultural point of view that the Yaquis is a local language being in danger. The students respond positively by saying their agreement that the Yaquis may become compulsory subject in order to keep that local language growing. Further, it is recommended that the authority of the city, in order to take account of on the revitalization effort of the local language, especially in the elementary and secondary school curriculum. This is the recommendation for maintaining the keys language. Making a connection with the school, teachers, and parents in order to build the keys speaking habit will also result better. So this is all. I hope that you learn a lot